Hi Guy, welcome to B&B Spoilers and News Channel. Today we will talk about Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers update on Wednesday the 9th of September teases that Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester will receive some surprising news regarding an ally. There will be someone unexpected cheering on Bridge, and he or she will have an interesting reason why. A surprising option would be Thomas Forrester, who has done some internal research and may suggest that he is a staunch supporter of second chances. Given that Thomas was previously so opposed to Brooke in Ridge's life, he was sure to be a shocking ally. Then again, perhaps another unexpected ally will emerge to support Brooke and Ridge. Regardless of who comes forward to cheer Bridge, Brooke will receive a confidence boost. It won't be long before Brooke makes another desperate plea in hopes of reuniting with Ridge, who will at least agree to hear her. Obviously, this won't work for Quinn Forrester, who is determined to make Ridge stay loyal to Shauna Fulton Forrester. Quinn wants Ridge to stay married to Shauna and live happily ever after. As for Quinn, Ridge has to put Brooke in the rearview mirror. As part of Quinn's plan to make it happen, she'll give her manipulation plan a boost. Quinn worked behind the scenes to fail Brooke's reunion attempts and push Bill Spencer in her direction. This time Quinn will involve someone else in her manipulation, but that plan will fail in the next BB episode or two. Quinn might think she can drag Katie Logan into her plan somehow. Since a visitor should intrude on Brooke's attempt to speak to Ridge, Katie might be a good choice. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Katie will be comparing notes to Brooke later this week, which will lead the sisters to realize they have been duped. Maybe Quinn will do something that creates that realization through her intrigues on Wednesday. Regardless, Quinn's latest plan will fail and could jeopardize her previous one as well. Quinn and Shauna were involved in the plot to block Ridge's divorce and manipulate him into another wedding in Las Vegas. This is hardly a secret. Shauna and Quinn are eager to see it explode. Spencer, Justin and Bill joked about Justin's workload. Bill thought it was okay because Justin's personal life was on dry dock. Justin joked that Bill's was too, unless there was something Bill wasn't saying. Bill thought Justin was trying to ask about Katie, but Justin was actually trying to ask about Brooke, who was still hanging on Ridge. Justin asked what Bill would do about it. "Yeah, I'd like to know that too," Ridge said as he walked into Bill's office. Ridge warned they would have a problem if Bill decided to do another comedy for Brooke. Justin advised Ridge not to come by without warning. Ridge accused Bill of being the reason Steffi suffered after Bill mowed her down with his car. Bill didn't think Ridge was ignorant enough to believe it either. Bill regretted the accident. Ridge asked if Bill regretted kissing Ridge's wife and the impact it had had on families. Bill thought he cared about Brooke and evidently cared a lot more than Ridge, who had made her his ex-wife after that drive-through wedding in Las Vegas. "I'll get burgers, fries and a marriage certificate," Bill Ridge mocked. Justin had someone waiting in his office and asked if it was okay to leave Ridge and Bill alone. Ridge joked that they were safe with no helicopters around. Justin left and Bill said that unless Ridge was there to hem Bill's pants, Ridge had 2 minutes to say what he thought. Ridge acknowledged hearing Bill's declaration of love for Brooke. Bill replied that Ridge had also heard Brooke say she would always love Bill. Always. Face it, added Bill. Ridge called Bill delusional, but Bill called Ridge a hypocrite for trying to trample Brooke's life while he was married to another woman. I care about her, Ridge replied. Bill advised Ridge that the best thing he could do for Brooke was to focus on his showgirl wife and let Brooke get on with her life. Ridge said Bill was crazy to think Ridge would let Brooke get on with Bill, who was toxic to any woman who cared about him. Before leaving, Ridge stated that, married or not, he would always protect Brooke from guys like Bill. In Brooke's cabin, frustrated Hope dropped a call and said it was Donna, who checked in again, after taking the kids to the beach without permission. Liam noticed that Donna was on the way back with them. He imagined that the trip had been a reward for completing their great art project and said that nothing wrong had been done. Hope claimed Kelly would come home later too, which Steffi would not like. Liam agreed. He planned to call Steffi to explain and said Hope was right about Steffi being better once Kelly was back in his arms. He wasn't a fan of Steffi being alone. Hope reminded him that he was with his doctor, and Liam gave Hope a long look. Brooke has arrived. He asked how the children were doing. Hope glared back and Liam said Donna should be back with them soon. Sensing the tension, Brooke asked if everything was okay. Later, Hope and Liam had informed Brooke about Steffi's feelings about Hope not taking Kelly directly home. Hope admitted that she should have called to ask Steffi if Kelly could stay instead of showing up at Steffi's house without the baby, but Hope didn't expect Steffi's reaction. Liam said Hope wasn't trying to keep Kelly away from Steffi. Of course not, but apparently that's how it feels, Hope replied. Brooke thought that Steffi would come to understand what really happened. Hope hoped so, but seeing Steffi in pain had broken Hope's heart. Brooke asked if Steffi was still taking medications or had been in contact with her doctor. Hope explained that the doctor had turned up to check on Steffi, and Hope had wanted to let him know that everyone was worried about her. But Steffi had none of that, Hope concluded. Brooke asked what it meant and if Hope suspected there was anything else going on. Realizing that Brooke also had a lot to do, Liam asked how Brooke was doing. Brooke said some days she wanted to go back to bed and forget the world or go into a sugary coma with a plate of cookies. What had happened between her and Ridge had been painful and shocking. And I just want. Well, you both know what I want, Brooke said wistfully. She didn't want them to worry about her. He was just happy that they had a healthy family. Brooke left and Liam thought Hope was still worried about her mother. The hope was, but he said his mother was right about them and their family. Hope had never felt so blessed and at peace. He felt bad about what Steffi was going through. Hope promised they would be there to help Steffi get through it. Liam replied that Steffi was too strong not to survive. Hope asked her if she said she was grateful for Liam. He was an extraordinary husband to her. He chuckled. He also thought he was an incredible father. She loved their life together and she loved Liam very much. He said he always would. At the Cliff House, Steffi explained to Finn that she couldn't be the mother she was meant to be as she suffered so much. She begged him to refill his recipe. Finn was sorry because, as much as he wanted to help her, that wasn't the way. Steffi seemed almost in tears from her rejection and her real back pain. Grimacing, Steffi pleaded with Finn. He said his daughter would be back soon. He asked how good it would be for the baby. Finn wondered what Steffi would be good if he depended too much on pills. He empathized and knew other patients who had felt that pain had taken over their lives. Steffi identified with the sensation. Finn knew it was scary, but he warned her that opioids could be addictive even if taken correctly. It didn't always happen, but because it was a possibility, doctors had to closely monitor their patients. He was worried that he was becoming more and more dependent. Steffi told him he didn't need a lecture. He needed another refill. Finn stated that once the charging was over, they would repeat the same speech. "That's not true," Steffi said. Steffi was irreverent about it, but assuming she knew about the opioid crisis, he insisted that she understand what was happening to her. Steffi realized she was in pain and the pills prevented her from feeling pain. Finn explained that the pills blocked the pain, but the problem was the chemical reaction that took place in the brain's reward center. It was the same reaction the brain had to intense pleasure. The release of dopamine could become greater than what the brain released from eating pleasant food or having sex. The pills required the brain to repeat the release over and over again. Steffi asked if Finn was saying he thought he had a problem and if he thought he was addicted. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe.